Good morning, everyone. How's your week going? I wonder if you have been feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or maybe just like you've got so much to do and not enough time in which to do it. When we're in that place, sometimes it makes us feel sort of squirrely, like things are not organized. So if you have been feeling stressed out, then being able to master your nervous system regulation could be the key to lasting calm for you. Let me know if you're here, whether you're watching live or in the replay. I would love to hear what you have been experiencing so far this summer, whether things have been pretty good, or maybe if there have been some ups and downs. Today, we are going to talk about a few techniques that you can start to use on a regular basis to introduce a feeling of calm and relaxation to an otherwise busy day. Some of you will be familiar with these techniques, but as with everything related to neuroplasticity, being able to practice again and again and rewire your nervous system to achieve that long-lasting calm is really important. We can't just do it once and be done. It's a habit, like brushing your teeth or working out, so that you can start to build up that resilience within your system as you do these drills or techniques again and again to get the response and the flexibility in your nervous system that you need to create a movement away from a higher sympathetic stress state to a more relaxed, calm place. We're going to begin with a breathing technique. I'm sure many of you have used different breathing techniques, and breathing techniques are some of the easiest things to do to immediately switch that sympathetic system over to a more relaxed parasympathetic place. The reason for this is that by the virtue of extending your exhalations, you are automatically telling your brain it's okay to slow down your heart rate. And by slowing down the heart rate, that means that you're not going to be in this hyped up sympathetic stress response. So what we're going to do is our helical breath today. And for those of you who are familiar, you can follow along if you like. If you're not familiar, this involves twisting up into the left side so that you can expand the right side of your body. And the reason why we tend to do it just on the one side is because we have 3 lung lobes on our right lung and 2 on our left side because of the heart being more on the left side. So there's generally more muscle mass around the diaphragm on the right side. And in this technique, we're adding rotation to decompress the vagus nerve as it travels from the brain down through the body, through the diaphragm, into the organs. So this is a really good one if there is any compression at this horizontal level of the diaphragm, to release some pressure on the vagus nerve, which is 75% of our parasympathetic nervous system. So we need the vagus nerve to be functioning well to get rest and good digestion and sleep. With the helical breath, we are going to, I'm not going to show you my legs, but I'm going to have you cross your right ankle over your left. Your knees will remain uncrossed, just crossing at the ankle, and then reaching your right hand across to the outside of your left thigh, and then placing your hand on the back of your head and maybe even gently pressing your head into your hand and your hand into your head. And eyes can be open or closed. What we're going to do is start with a breath in through the nose, hold that breath for a few seconds, and then perform a long, slow breath out through pursed lips. If you can, 3 seconds in, 6-second hold, 9-second exhalation, or even a 2-second breath, 4-second hold, 6-second exhalation. Whatever feels normal and natural to you. And I also want you to think about expanding the area between your shoulder blades as you take that breath in, because then we can get a nice diaphragmatic breath that, if you imagine an umbrella opening, allows full ribcage expansion in all directions. So here we go. Breathing in through your nose, holding at the top, and then a long, slow breath out, either through your nose or through your mouth. In again through your nose. Spreading that rib cage between your shoulder blades as you hold, and then a long, slow exhalation. Let's do that one more time. Breath in through the nose. Sitting up nice and tall, feeling your rib cage opening just like an umbrella or a jellyfish moving through the ocean, holding there, and then a long, slow breath out. Excellent. You can unwind, take a little breath, and then if you did an assessment, you can go ahead and reassess, or you might just notice what you're feeling in your body now that you've had the chance to do that breathing technique. Maybe it is a little bit more of a sense of calm, or if your heart rate was faster, perhaps you can feel it slowing down already. Let me know if you noticed any difference from the helical breathing. You can also do that as many times as you like. You don't have to limit it at 3. What we are trying to do with our nervous system regulation drills is to find that sweet spot, the minimal effective dose in which we can get some kind of benefit without tipping over into the point of doing too many and stressing our system so that we're not getting a positive response. And if you are measuring yourself, a positive response typically means more range of motion, increased ease of breathing, possibly increased visual acuity if that's something that you are able to pay attention to, or something like a functional movement becoming easier, maybe a toe touch or a squat. Let me know if you have any questions about helical breathing. And as I said, we tend to only wind up to the left side, but if you wanted, you could try going to the right as well. Next up, we have a grounding exercise. And grounding exercises can be particularly helpful when you're feeling anxious, when there's that sense of overwhelm, or almost like you are going to be unable to remain present in your body because of so many things happening outside of you. One of these exercises that's super simple to do in a moment like this is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. I think I was first introduced to this by a counselor, and it's simple to do. You, again, need no equipment to do this, which makes it a very handy tool in times of stress because you don't want to always have to have something on hand to use, especially if you know that this is a response that you tend to go to sometime and it can be unexpected. So what I'd like you to do, if you are in this situation, and maybe this would be something to write down just to take some notes, but you are going to ground yourself in the present moment when you start to feel those stress levels rise. The first thing, 5. 5 things you can see in the room or in the environment that you're in. So for me, I might go computer, camera, chair, yoga mat, and pen. Those are 5 things around me, and I'm using my eyes. I'm getting out of my head and basically using and engaging my senses and numbering those things. Okay, I found 5. And then 4. 4 things you can touch. So what are 4 things within arm's reach that you can touch? And now start to play into that sensation of what your fingertips can examine. So for me, I have a piece of paper here. I have a mug here. I have my laptop right here. Different sensation. And I'm going to come back to this pen over here. So 4 things that I can touch or even pick up and manipulate in my hand. So we're building up that sensory map again, coming out of our fixated stress state. This one, depending on where you are, can be a little bit trickier. We're looking now for 3 things that you can hear. Maybe even closing your eyes so that you can tune into the space around you. Notice the sounds that are present. For me, I can hear a car outside. I can hear my refrigerator going. And I can hear my cat moving just a little bit. So there are 3 things that I can hear. Next, 2 things you can smell. And depending on where you are, again, this might be a little trickier, but it could even be as simple as, again, closing your eyes so you can tune into your sense of olfaction. And then maybe you have some tea or coffee. Give it a sniff. And maybe you have something else like lip balm or essential oil, or who knows, maybe you even smell. Does your pen have any scent? Does a book that you're reading have a smell? Reminds me of going into used bookstores where you can smell the book. And finally, one thing you can taste. Now, this could already be a taste sensation in your mouth, or it might be something that you have nearby that you could pop into your mouth. Maybe you have a mint, or again, something to sip on, whether that's tea or coffee, and then you're just paying attention to that feeling of whatever taste sensation is in your mouth. Perhaps you just brush your teeth and you can still taste remnants of some minty toothpaste if you use mint toothpaste. With this grounding exercise, it is going to take you from that high stress sympathetic state and bring you back into the present moment to allow you to stay calmer. I'd like to review those 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 things that you're searching for in the environment. The first is 5 things you can see, then 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And even if you forget, looking around and scanning your environment, moving your eyes is a really good way to help bring you back into the room and not allow your nervous system to continue down perhaps a well-worn path into a stress response. Our last technique that we're going to talk about, which can be very helpful in nervous system regulation, and again, remaining in your body present when you are feeling like stress is becoming a bit overwhelming, is called progressive muscle relaxation. And this is just a really nice technique that you can do anywhere, again, with no tools, and it just involves tensing and slowly relaxing each muscle group. This helps to pay attention to where you're keeping tension in your body and then intentionally letting it go. There are a couple different ways to do this. You can also do this lying down. It's great to do before bed, especially if you're having a hard time falling asleep. What I would encourage you to do is start either from your head and move down or from your feet and move up. And then I tend to do it by squeezing, say, my toes first and then relaxing them. Squeezing the muscles around the calves first and then relaxing them. Tensioning the muscles around the thighs and glutes. Paying attention to what it feels like and then letting them relax. Pulling the belly in, squeezing everything tight around your core and torso, and then letting it go. Squeezing your chest and shoulders and arms and hands, holding everything really, really tight, and then just letting that tension dissipate. And then I like to scrunch up my face, pull those muscles really tight, and then just relax. And as you do that, and you finish going through your whole body, now just see how your body feels, perhaps a little bit different. The other way that I've had people do this exercise, and again, it's totally up to you, is to start, again, say with the feet, contracting, squeezing, and then progressively squeezing up through the body so that you're now tensing all of the muscles in your body, and maybe it's more waxed forward, or maybe it's extended back, and then letting everything go right away. Depends on what gives you a better response and what you are more comfortable with. Again, you could start squeezing one muscle, relaxing, squeezing the next muscle group, relaxing, and moving up like that. Or you could gradually bring more and more tension into your body and then just let everything go. Give that one a try and let me know what you think. Is anyone familiar with that technique? I know that one's pretty common, but it's a good one to practice. Overall, these are some of the easiest things that you can do if you find yourself feeling overwhelmed and stressed out because they don't require any tools. They're pretty simple, and you can also do them in lots of different situations without being too obvious. That full body tension or relax, contract one can also just be done by tightening the muscles and relaxing them. Say you're standing in line at the grocery store or you're sitting in a work meeting, you can do that one really subtly. You can also take the breathing timing from the helical breath and just practice that breath in, hold, long, slow breath out. As well as doing the grounding exercise, you can look around your room, you can subtly touch things, you can notice what you can smell, hear, and taste, and you don't have to tell anyone that you're doing them. I think that's the beauty of these exercises. They are very portable and very functional in your life, and you don't have to set aside any extra time to be able to do them. But still, you will get the response and the benefits of the calm and the feeling of a little bit more presence by putting yourself through those little exercises and the steps in each one. I would like to know if you found this video helpful, and if you did, let me know which drill or exercise you responded the best to, or which one you have already been doing and finding really useful. With that, I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will look forward to chatting with you next week.